Good evening. Whoops. Well, that's loud. Let us begin, please. We'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Welcome to this special school district meeting for the Jaffrey Ringe SAU 47 School District. My name is Bob Shawman. I'm your moderator. Let me just take a moment to quickly explain that this meeting will be run a little bit differently than what you're used to. Normally under Senate Bill 2, we discuss the motion, and once everyone's comfortable with the wording, we simply vote on it at the actual town meeting in March. What we'll be doing tonight is reading the warrant article that's proposed, accepting a motion and a second. Reuben Duncan will then explain the rationale behind the motion. We'll open up for discussion, and then if there's no further discussion, we'll simply take a yes/no vote. Now, many of you have this here. This will be only if there's a requirement or request for a secret ballot. If we don't use these, we'll save some money. I'll ask you simply to turn them back to the supervisors in the checklist on your way out. So that's the way the meeting will run. And with that, let me read the warrant article. I'm just going to read the warrant article, not the preamble. Article 1 says, shall the school district vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $112,851, with this appropriation to be in addition to the amount previously voted for the support of schools at the March 2022 annual school district meeting. Such sum to be added to the general fund, and with such sum to come from increases in the district's adequate education grant under RSA 198:41, received from the state of New Hampshire in the current fiscal year, with no money to be raised from additional taxation. And this simply requires a majority vote of the voters here in this assembly. This was recommended by the school board, 6-0 in favor. That is the warrant article. Chair will accept a motion to pursue further. So moved by Charlie Eichert. Is there a second? Second over there. Easy. Okay. Reuben, would you care to speak to the motion?
So SB 420 was signed by Governor Sununu on July 1st and was effective the same day. The extraordinary needs grant is in addition to our adequacy aid that we get for this coming year. Actually, the extraordinary needs grant will continue on after this year as well, perhaps not in the same percentage or the same amount. But for this year, this is certainly revenue that was not expected. We are given this in the amount of $112,851 based upon the need within the district. And so we are a Title I receiving district based upon free and reduced lunch. And we were able to be provided with this. Now, today's conversation is not about whether we are accepting this into our as revenue. Rather, it is about whether or not we are able to, in layman's terms, utilize this money for this school year's expenses, which is what we plan on doing. Any school district in the state of New Hampshire receiving this and is going to be utilizing these funds, it needs to provide a plan to the state, a growth plan. The plan template that they gave to us is a spreadsheet that lists or has areas for English and language arts proficiency as well as growth. And so we need to fill that out as to what our educational plan is to help improve those areas as well. We do have a recently adopted multi-year plan that outlines a lot of the strategies that we plan on doing. But for this specific money right here, because this has been a tighter year financially, as it is, I'm sure, for many individuals in the community as well, due to inflation and just rising costs everywhere. We would be utilizing this. Our plan for that we would put to the state would be that we're planning to utilize some of this money to offset the increases to utilities. We do need a physical environment that is conducive to learning. That's part of what we would do. Already, I have drained my curriculum funds and so forth to be able to pay for certain parts of that. And so this money right here would allow us to get some of that back to be able to focus on professional learning communities, embedding those strongly in a more robust way in our school district. And basically what a PLC or a professional learning community is going to do is it's going to help all of us come together through training, through data collection and so forth, and be able to have conversations to analyze the data that we have better, to be able to make plans for our students' learning and what type of interventions and what type of educational supports we need to provide in order to help all of our students grow. And so that was already a plan that was in the works. Certainly it was stalled. Some of it was stalled a little bit due to some current financial issues that we have due to, again, being in a default budget, and also the continued increases in facilities costs, and also rise in costs in special education as well that we continue to work with and deal with. So that's what we're going to be doing with this money if we are allowed to utilize that for this year. It's certainly going to be used for to help balance the budget that we have, and also be able to further the work that we already need to be doing and want to be doing and have already started to undertake within the district. Are there any questions?
Okay, are there any questions or discussion from the floor? Well, let me just check, Laura, to make sure that we have a chance. Yes, I see one hand there. Would you approach the microphone, please, and give us your name? Yeah, we're going to vote, Laurel, not to worry.
My name's Miranda Rossback, and with regards to professional learning communities, are you talking specifically about the educators, or are you speaking to the students? Are you talking about professional development conferences? Are you talking about the needs of learners who might be on the higher end? Can you just speak to that a little bit more?
Yes. So primarily we're talking about working with educators. So each school has team leaders. Specifically, they work with their, whether it be grade level teams or whether it be vertical teams that are like subject area based in the high school or middle school. And they look at, and they get together and they regularly to look at how students are doing in their learning. They look at assessment results. They look at whether it be assessments that have been developed within the organization, or they look at state assessments or other types of standardized work that the kids have been working on. And then looking to see where are the gaps and how can we go about filling those gaps. Or if there are no gaps, for instance, and there are learners who already have shown that they understand the material, what are we going to do further with those individuals as well to enhance their learning? So it is for learners. It is for all learners, regardless of where they are within their learning, to be able to see where they're at and to make plans for providing them growth no matter where they're at. So there will be professional development. There's also the development of a district inquiry team that's part of that will involve the team leaders with all the schools so that there's communication from pre-K all the way through 12 and looking at district-wide data trends. So we can look at it at the elementary level, at this elementary school level, the middle and high school level. We are already starting to look at a lot of trend work there and make some decisions. Then now the next step is really to make sure that we have that entire district conversation so that we also have sustainability and put some systems in place so that we have sustainability of this movement and this work and these professional learning communities for years to come.
Further questions or discussion? If not, I sense you're ready to vote. This will be a simple majority vote, yes or no. All those in favor of the warrant article, which I read, first of all, would you like me to read it again? No. Okay. All those in favor of the warrant article that was read, please signify so by raising your hand and saying aye. Those opposed, raise your hand and signify so by saying nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries in the affirmative as thus declared. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll accept a motion to adjourn the meeting. Moved by Laurel. Second, and your name, please? Ashley, sorry, Ringe. I know you, Ashley. Okay. All those in favor of adjourning signify so by saying aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. Good night.